Right. So we got a really interesting article sent to us. And, we always love to get your suggestions for things to cover. And this one is about a pretty huge shakeup
Yeah.
over in Philadelphia.
Big time.
So we're going straight to the ice for this deep dive.
Yeah. Sounds good.
The Flyers have parted ways with their head coach, John Tortorella.
Right.
So let's try to unpack exactly what happened here and why this is so significant for fans.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting here is that it's only 9 games left in the season.
Oh, wow.
And they decided to make the switch now. After Tortorella has been there for almost 3 seasons.
Okay.
And Brad Shaw has been named the interim head coach.
Okay.
So I think that means they felt like they needed a change in direction right away, even if they're probably not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they're not in a great spot.
Right.
But there's still something to play for, and they felt like they needed somebody new.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Now, the article quotes the general manager, Daniel Briere, and his statement kind of stood out to me. It's interesting how he acknowledged Tortorella's role in rebuilding the team.
Yeah.
Specifically mentioning that Tortorella set a certain standard for the team and, praised his passion and his community work.
Of course.
It's almost like they're highlighting these positive aspects.
Yeah.
Even while they're making the decision to let him go.
Yeah. It seems like they're acknowledging the impact he had on the team.
Right.
Even if the number of wins wasn't quite where they wanted them to be at this point in the rebuild.
Right.
And he kept saying that this was the right decision for the team's next chapter.
Okay.
So it's almost like they're saying, okay, we appreciate what he did.
Yeah.
But we're moving on to something different now.
Right. We're changing our focus a little bit.
Exactly.
And the timing of all this feels really crucial, too.
Yeah.
The article points out this all happened right after that 7-2 loss to Toronto. I mean, sometimes you see that in sports.
Big time.
These really tough losses can be kind of a catalyst.
Yeah.
To shake things up.
Absolutely. It can be a wake-up call.
Yeah.
That things need to change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just the loss itself.
Yeah.
But it's Tortorella's reaction afterward that really stands out.
Right.
He didn't try to make excuses or blame the players.
Yeah, he owned it.
He really did.
Yeah.
And actually, he even questioned his own effectiveness in that post-game interview, saying, this falls on me. I'm not really interested in learning how to coach in this type of season, but I have to do a better job.
Oh.
Like for a coach to come out and say that publicly?
That's unusual.
Yeah.
To question their own ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of message does that send to the team, do you think?
I mean, that's a really good question. You know, Bruce Boudreau, who was an NHL head coach for a long time, he said he was surprised by that.
Okay.
He said basically, like, how are the players supposed to play for you?
Right.
If you're saying you don't even know how to coach them in this situation.
It almost sounds like he's giving up a little bit.
Yeah. Like he's saying, you're quitting on me.
Yeah.
But you expect me to keep playing hard for you.
Yeah, I can see how that could be demotivating.
Definitely.
So there's this disconnect between the coach's mindset and the team's performance.
And that's so important in sports.
Right.
That connection between the coach and the players.
Right.
You need to have that belief in each other.
Yeah. And it's not like the team was doing amazingly well either.
Right.
The article mentions that Tortorella's win percentage this season was .445.
Oof.
Which is not great.
Yeah, it was on track to be one of his worst seasons ever.
Wow. So it's not just about the rebuild. It's also about the actual results on the ice.
Exactly. I mean, the rebuild is important.
Right.
But you still need to see some progress in terms of wins and losses.
It can't just be bad forever.
Right. Eventually, you have to start winning games.
Right. So you have this situation where you've got a coach who was brought in to lead a rebuild.
Yeah.
He's credited with changing the team culture.
Right.
But then he's let go late in the season.
Right.
After a really bad loss.
Right.
And after he publicly questions his own ability.
It's a tough situation.
Yeah. I mean, it really highlights how much pressure there is.
Oh, yeah.
In professional sports.
Absolutely.
There's this constant evaluation.
All the time.
Of everything.
Every single game.
The strategy.
Yeah.
The leadership. The results.
It's a results-oriented business.
Right. And especially when a team is rebuilding.
Yeah.
There are these huge expectations.
Fans want to see progress.
Yeah.
We want to see the team getting better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even when a coach has made positive contributions.
Yeah.
It might not be enough.
Right.
If they don't feel like the team is moving in the right direction.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. This whole situation with Tortorella is a perfect example of that.
I agree.
So let's leave the listeners with a final thought here.
Okay.
We saw how this unfolded step by step. The tough loss, the coach's self-doubt, and then the really quick decision.
Yeah, they moved fast.
So it makes you think about how tough it is.
It's a tough business.
To be in professional sport.
Absolutely.
The margins are so small and the stakes are so high.
Yeah.
Is it all about wins and losses?
I mean, that's what they keep track of.
Right. But what about team morale?
Yeah, that's important too.
And the coach's confidence?
It all plays a role.
Does that affect the players?
For sure.
I think this whole situation is really complex.
Absolutely.
And it's something for all of us to kind of think about.
Yeah, there's no easy answers.
Well, thanks for diving into this with me.
No problem. It was fun.
It was really interesting.
Always is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So